do. So at a time while I was at Mosimi, some of these people will come with their babaniga with cash. They will buy off the supplies to various things, and they will take straight to Idiroko, taken out of the country. That's what they were doing, and the customs people will give them number.
The custom people will give them number. So customs were involved.
All of them.
What is going on?
Because it is a sign of a country that is in decline now. You know, if you read some classics, you know, when Roman Empire was going to die, the citizens, especially the women, overdressed, they were dressing like the Greeks. You know, Rome conquered Greece physically, but culturally, Greece conquered Rome. So you were not considered as educated if you could not speak Greek language as the official language of the elite. If the women did not dress like the Greeks, in fact, homosexuality started with the Greeks. Lesbianism that they have now perverted started as a form of protest during the Peloponnesian War. You know, the women of Lesbos, a Greek island, whose husbands were always finding one excuse or the other to be at war. And they were not coming home. So they held a meeting and they said that they should deny their husbands of sex. When they came during armistice, they came home, they thought they were going, so they gave them drink to arouse them. They went into their wife and all of their wives cooperated. That was how Peloponnesian War ended. Sex. So that is what they are perverted to lesbianism now. You know? So they copied all of these things from the Greeks. Then Rome went down. Production declined. You know, rural-urban drift became so intense. The land of the poor people, the peasants, were taken away from them by the rich to build their latifundia, their large estates, to produce what the local populace were not consuming, olive oil that they were exporting. Just as the Chinese are now exporting cassava here now, and you can't even buy gari. The same system, the same thing. And some ladies who use 75,000 and 100,000 naira to buy, you know, artificial hair. They bleach their skin. They do all of these things. We overdress. Everywhere is an eatery. Everywhere is a mall. Consumerism, and that's why you go into a supermarket, you ought to find there, and not what you produce locally. What you import is what you don't have the capacity to produce, or what you have the capacity to produce, you are not permitted to even import. You all want to go to a farm. Now, bandits will not allow you to go. So this is a country that is going down. Let nobody deceive you with any statistics.
Like Rome was going down.
Like it's happened to Rome. A nation in decline will have these features. Nigeria is ripe for the thump. Nigeria is going down.
Nigeria is going down.
Nigeria is going down. What do you produce?
This government cannot save it?
With what? With how they adjust Naira and all of these things. Save what? They can only, what they are doing is cosmetic. It cannot go far. Where are the industries? What are they producing? Where are the industries? People go abroad, they bring in fabrics, they bring in spare parts. Curriculum, let's get to the university. What do you teach your children? When these roads you find around are absent, in the sense that your children are not the ones constructing the roads. You go into the hospitals, if you are not treated by your own children, if your buildings are not constructed by your children, it's a future or not. You know it. You have failed. So if your curriculum is not about capacity building, from cradle, you teach your children alienation. They are alienated from their environment. They have this sense of entitlement, and the idea of government must provide jobs. Where is that done? Nobody is talking about your capacity, your certificate. Now you have reduced certificates to meal tickets. When you commoditize values, you are going to get nothing. PhD, LLB, all of these things, they mean nothing if you cannot, if the people cannot feel. If the curriculum is not about how to teach you to be able to sustain the environment, if it's about how you can only speak English, how you can speak English through your nose, how you can, try to affect accents so that they know that you even understand English more than the King of England, we are getting nothing.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
That is Dr. Doyin Odebowale. Remember the last point I made? That if we want to change the system, we must cultivate new culture and conscience. And that is why Dr. Okilo reads regularly. And one of the books he is reading is How Democracies Die. More importantly, it is why Dr. Okilo teaches others to read, not just for academic purposes, but for civic awakening. He introduces his students to books that provoke reflection. Have you read Chinua Achebe's The Trouble with Nigeria, written in early 1980? If you read the book now, it seems Chinua Achebe is talking about today. That means we have not changed since the 1980s. And when I talk about change of character, structure is not development really. It is human capacity that is really development. The human mind. Until the human mind is advanced, the country will not be advanced. So a politician that steals 2 billion, 4 billion, he doesn't have an advanced mind. That politician is empty and petty. That is why you see he steals it. He's not looking for where to hide it. He can't use it. What do you want to do with it? What do you want to buy? What house do you want to build? How many cars do you want to ride? So the only thing you can do when you steal that money is to make you restless. You hide it. You begin to behave abnormally because you want to spend that money by all means. What you ought to buy for 2 naira, you will buy it for 2,000 naira. You want to conquer. You begin to misbehave. You look for who to buy guns for, so that you begin to terrorize the society and terrorize your people. It is the bane of underdevelopment. When a man steals 80 billion meant for infrastructure, meant for road and health system, that person is not advanced in thought. In fact, the person is a madman. It can only be madness to do such. So you have madness as governance in Nigeria. And you can see the consequences. The people grow poorer. Why a few hijack the system? There's always consequences for it. Hopefully we will not wait till we get to that point, till we get to the elastic limit. We will not wait. The right interventions will be made to save the land. So Dr. Okilo reads, and he makes the point that reading is more than intellectual pursuit. It is an act of political resistance. In a society where propaganda is loud, reading carefully, critically, and collectively can revive the ethical muscles of citizenship. To save Nigeria's democracy, he believes that legal reforms are necessary but insufficient. What the country truly needs is a cultural shift, one that restores democratic norms, revives public accountability, and awakens civic imagination. Citizens must learn again how to demand integrity, challenge power, and trust facts over fear. That kind of change, he insists, starts with thought, and thought begins with reading. I also challenge the university class, the university system. I challenge the lecturers. I challenge my professor friends, my lecturer friends, to have a deeper reflection and say, have they really contributed good enough for cultural revival, mental redemption? Have they? I challenge the journalists. Have we contributed enough to mental revival, Because if we don't create mental revival, and you now have a revolution, another madman will hijack the revolution and will still be dancing on the same spot. That's why when I hear revolution, I say, hey, wait. If you have a revolution now, it might be 50-50. Another madman takes it,